What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. Getting into this episode of GH, let me tell you something. If something happens to my boo Ava, there will not be any place Dante will be able to hide from me because I will whoop Dante's ass. I'm just saying. He was being so dismissive when they called him over to Windermere because they found a dagger or whatever. He was being real dismissive. And even Ava noticed that. Like, he was, a little dismissive little prick. Uh, but on the one hand, I understand where Dante's coming from. Stalking cases and stuff, stalking laws have gotten better than what they were back in the day, because back then there was really nothing a cop can do in terms of stalking. There's not a whole lot they can do now with stalking, but all you have to do is pretty much prove that you're being stalked. You know what I'm saying? You got to know who the stalker is. That's the only way for the cops to really intervene to do something, because there got to be like a paper trail. Like, you got to call 911. You got to get a restraining order. It's a lot of bells and whistles you got to do in order to make stalking charges stick. She doesn't really know who the stalker is. I mean, of course, she believes it's Ryan, but, Nicholas and Dante are pretty much being dismissive of that because they believe he's the vegetable. That man is not a vegetable. He's a con artist is what he is. I believe Ryan could possibly be the person doing this. I mean, it could be Ryan. Could be Spencer. Who knows? But I think they're underestimating Ryan's abilities. I would definitely take a trip out to that little facility he had and check on things, because Ryan is a slippery one. Basically all Dante could suggest, because he was like, maybe they're not even after Ava. Maybe they're after Nicholas for all they know. Ava looked all disappointed by that. Because, Ava hoping that is Ryan. I think deep down Ava hopes that is Ryan trying to come after her again. Because a part of me think Ava liked that little kinky shit, being chased by him. I think it's a thrill for her. But, Dante pretty much told them, maybe y'all should, get off the island or whatever. Get away from Windermere for a while. Maybe even get away from each other to stay safe. You know what I mean? I just feel like Nicholas needs to up security around here, because clearly they don't have no security in Windermere. Like, you need to upgrade your security system, and you need to get a security team. Something, because how the hell can people just get on and off that island and in and out of Windermere without y'all knowing about it? Like, they got so many tunnels and caves and catacombs and any place for anybody to go. That's scary. You know what I mean? That's some scary stuff to live in a house like that, where anybody can just come and go. Y'all have no security system, no nothing. I wouldn't want to live like that. Hell no. I got to make sure I'm secure. You know what I mean? Like, anybody could come in that house and poison the drinks that y'all drink and you wouldn't even know it. Like, that's a scary feeling. But they need to do something about that, though, and do something quick, fast, and in a hurry. But I can't wait for this to all come out and find out who the actual stalker is. Because I know we all got our theories, but I need to know for certain who it is. ASAP. Let me tell y'all something. If you would have told me 2 months ago that I would see Anna and Lisa Olbrecht bonding or having some type of cordial conversation, I would have said, you high. You high or you drunk. I was so enjoying their scenes today, and I loved it, because Olbrecht took Anna to this place, and y'all know it. You can go and put on gear and stuff and smash TVs and smash car parts and all type of stuff. Break things and stuff, because it's a stress reliever. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people do stuff like this because it relieves your tension and your stress and all that stuff. Like, to where you can let your anger out on stuff. Olbrecht was enjoying the shit out of it. And I loved it. Olbrecht was enjoying herself. Anna, on the other hand, at first, she wasn't really feeling it because it wasn't really her thing. But Olbrecht got her into it by antagonizing her, making her mad and stuff, so that way she'll want to break something. I loved it, And they sat down, they got to talking, and Anna pretty much, she unloaded herself and pretty much, told Olbrecht how she was feeling. She felt like she lost herself trying to save Peter. And I loved Olbrecht's response to that. She felt like Anna was finding herself again. I love it. I freaking love it. Look how far Olbrecht then came in life. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, go ahead, Olbrecht. That's my boo, and I'm just surprised her and Anna are in a decent space, together, because I never would have thought that a long time ago. Never. So I totally enjoyed that scene. I said, okay, y'all killing it. Y'all killing it. I like it. Like, unlikely alliances are forming on this show, and it's surprising how many people are, you know, mingling with each other and being cordial with each other. You know what I mean? But I can definitely see. Don't get me wrong. Anna and Obrecht are definitely not going to be besties. You know what I mean? They're definitely not. I feel like they're going to be like frenemies or whatever. Kind of like a Dorian, Vicky, Lord kind of situation. I can see that happening in the future, though. I definitely can. So anyway, moving on from that to the spinoff. Nina was all giddy and happy because Michael called her reluctantly to tell her that she could see Wiley whenever she wanted, so she was going to be there in a day or two. She was going to be back in Port Charles to see him or whatever. And, her and Mike admitted that they wanted to be in a relationship with each other and whatnot, and that she admitted to him that she wasn't permanently moving back to Port Charles. See, that's what pissed me off about Nina, because I'm like, so you're not permanently moving back to Port Charles to be with your grandson because you rather keep up this dumbass charade with Sonny and keep the revenge plot going. That's so stupid. Like, Nina, you finally got what you wanted. And she had a feeling that Jax had a hand in it. So, of course, she called Jax to find out if he had something to do with that. And Sonny ended up, before she left, Sonny ended up giving her a jar of his pasta sauce or whatever. Of his pasta sauce. I have a feeling that if Nina takes that pasta sauce back to Port Charles and Carly or somebody tastes it, like somebody who knows Sonny and know his cooking, if they taste that, I have a feeling they're going to trace it back to Sonny. They're going to know Sonny's alive because Sonny makes his pasta sauce from scratch. That's not pasta sauce that you can buy in some supermarket. That's his recipe. So Carly and Michael and everybody now had his cooking, obviously, so they know what his food tastes like. So if they taste that pasta sauce, they're going to know it's his. They should know that it's him. So I think it's a couple ways where Nina might fuck up and she might, get exposed soon. Because Sonny could get a little antsy and decide, you know what, let me go to Port Charles and go surprise her. Because that's always a possibility he could do that too. There's a couple ways that this is all about to blow up in her face. But whether he go there or not, it's going to blow up in her face. Somebody going to find out something sooner or later. Somebody gonna figure it out. And I can't wait until they do because I'm ready for this to be over. And Nina gonna get her ass handed to her. She really is. She is going to get it. You know what? I am so happy that Michael, kicked Jax out and pretty much disowned him. And, he basically told Jax, we're no longer family. And he shut that door right in that man's face. I would have did the same exact thing. But what pissed me off about Michael is, why are you letting him blackmail you into anything? Over such a stupid thing at that. It's not like your life is in danger or something. I mean, I understand they're trying to protect Chase or whatever because he's going through a lot. I get it. But I would never let somebody blackmail me. I would never. Trust me, I'm that type of person. I will take the leverage right out your hands with a quickness. Because honestly, if I was Michael, I would have got on that phone. I would have called Willow. I would have been like, Willow, we got a little situation. Somebody trying to blackmail me. Jack's trying to blackmail me. I need to tell Chase. I would have took it right up out. I would have took that leverage away from Jack so quick that his head would have spun. You ain't about to sit here and blackmail me over some foolishness. But in my opinion, though, I feel like Jax never really gave a shit about Michael. Even when Jax was married to Carly, he cared more about Morgan than he ever did Michael. He never paid Michael no real mind. His focus was more so on Morgan, so I ain't even surprised by it. So anyway, moving on from that. Willow took forever to try to tell Chase the truth about her and Michael or whatever. Every time she builds up to it, Finn kept interrupting. Finn, Liz, and Jackie would come into the room and interrupt every time she kept trying to tell Chase because they found him a cure. So they were going to use the Cure, they were going to use his DNA and Jackie's DNA or whatever. So they were going to use Jackie's DNA, and I believe they were going to use Finn's DNA to combat the antidote, to mask the antidote or whatever. But when they administered that to Chase, he said that he could feel it working, but then he started bleeding and convulsing. And I think the reason for that is because Finn is not a match. You can't use Finn's DNA. And I think this is how they're going to find out Finn is not really his father. That the original DNA test was tampered with. I think this is how. Because I think that if they would have used Jackie's DNA and Gregory's DNA, I think it would have worked. I definitely think it would have worked. So anyway, moving on from that. So Finn Chase is pretty much in a worse condition than he was before now that he convulsing and bleeding. So I'm like, yeah, I need to figure that out quick before that man kill over, because I don't know how much more his body can sustain. Like, how much more he can take. So anyway, moving on from that, I am so happy that Britt is back in Port Charles. She's back at the hospital. I don't know why she was surprised that there was no big welcoming for her to come back. Because she was like, damn, like she was walking around the hospital and she was like, damn, there's not much of a welcoming committee around here. I'm like, I love you, Britt, but the rest of the staff at the hospital don't really love you, boo. So, take it where you can get it. So anyway, Anna was all up in Maxie's room talking about how the PCPD was still looking for Peter. And then talking about the baby or whatnot. Maxie basically told Anna, don't worry about the baby. Don't worry about the baby. Focus on finding Peter. If I was Anna, I would have been all up in that room asking all types of questions. Like, what do you mean don't focus on the baby, focus on Peter? There's a lunatic allegedly running around with your child. That should be the first thing you want, is your child back. Fuck Peter. You know what I mean? I would have been questioning that. But Britt came up in there or whatever, and they filled her in on what was going on. And so after Anna left, Maxie pretty much told Britt the whole story. Maxie pretty much told her everything fell apart when Chloe got involved. So she told her, though, that the baby was fine and whatnot, and, it ain't really nothing to worry about. I think down the line, though, I feel like this whole thing is going to get messy. I think it's going to get real messy. Because I feel like Brooklyn, she gonna fall in love with the baby. I feel like Valentine, he already fell in love with the baby. So when everything about Peter comes out and Maxie tries to reclaim that child, I feel like it's gonna get messy. It's gonna be a little tougher than what she initially thought. Because I don't think they're gonna, give up that child so easily, especially not Valentine. So pretty much that was the whole episode today. It was good. I enjoyed it. Decent installment. Hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about it. And I'll see y'all all later. Have a great day. Peace.